There is a secret switch hidden deep inside every mind, a lever that when pulled releases a rush of focus, drive, and unstoppable momentum. The few who master it can move through challenges with a fire that never fades. This is not magic, it is science. And it has a name, dopamine, anchoring the practice of wiring your brain to crave the actions that lead to your success. Before we step into this lesson, make a decision right now to stay connected to these messages. Every mind is shaped by the voices it hears the most. Let this be one of those voices. Press the subscribe button so you never miss the sparks that light your path. Give this video a like if you value growth, and share it with one person who needs to wake up their inner power. Drop your thoughts in the comments so together we create a circle of minds that refuse to settle for less. The power of dopamine is often misunderstood. People think of it only as the chemical behind pleasure, but its true gift lies in its ability to motivate. When dopamine levels rise, the brain pays attention. It begins to anticipate reward. This anticipation drives action. The stronger the link between an action and the dopamine response, the more likely the brain is to repeat that action. This is where anchoring comes in. Anchoring is the deliberate act of connecting a specific thought, action, or trigger to a surge of positive feeling. It turns effort into something the brain actually looks forward to. It is the reason some people feel pulled toward their goals while others drag themselves unwillingly toward them. When you anchor dopamine to the right habits, you rewire your reward system. Instead of craving empty distractions, your mind starts craving progress. Instead of fighting yourself, you find yourself drawn to the work that matters. You begin to feel the same pull toward reading, studying, building, training, and creating that most people feel toward scrolling, snacking, or escaping. And once this shift happens, your days take on a rhythm of energy and clarity that makes success inevitable. The first step in building a dopamine anchor is clarity. The brain cannot connect reward to an action if it does not understand the purpose behind that action. Too many people live in a fog of vague wishes. They say they want success, but they have no clear picture of what success looks like. A mind without a clear target will attach its dopamine triggers to whatever feels good in the moment, not to what moves it forward. This is why the first anchor is vision. A vision so clear, it becomes a living image in the mind. It must be precise, detailed, and emotionally charged. If the mind can see it, it will start looking for ways to move toward it. The second step is association. This is where you connect an action with an immediate positive feeling. If you want your brain to crave early mornings, you cannot wake up thinking about the pain of leaving the bed. You must attach the act of rising to something that sparks energy. This might be music that makes you feel unstoppable, sunlight on your face, deep breathing that floods your body with life. Whatever it is, make it consistent. The more often your brain links that action with that good feeling, the stronger the anchor grows. The third step is celebration. Most people wait for the big victory before they allow themselves to feel proud. They never realize that the brain is always recording the emotional value of every action. If you only celebrate after reaching the mountain peak, your brain will forget to reward you for the climb. The secret is to celebrate micro wins. Immediately finish a page of your book project, celebrate it. Complete your morning run, celebrate it. Record a video, edit it, and post it. Celebrate it. This is not about arrogance. This is about training the brain to crave the process. The fourth step is reinforcement. Habits die when they are not reinforced. Every anchor you build needs regular strengthening. If your dopamine trigger is music, play it every time you do the work. If your trigger is a phrase, repeat it with full conviction. If it is a physical action like clenching your fist or taking a deep breath, do it every single time you achieve a small victory. Consistency is the glue that makes an anchor permanent. And finally, the fifth step is removal of conflict. You cannot anchor dopamine to a habit while also allowing your brain to attach that same chemical to its opposite. If you are trying to anchor dopamine to reading but spend more time scrolling on your phone, the phone will always win because it provides faster, more constant hits of dopamine. You must reduce or remove the anchors that pull you away, so the anchors that pull you forward become dominant. Dopamine anchoring is not instant. It is built through repetition, focus, and deliberate emotional connection. But once the anchors are set, they change the way you experience life. What once felt like discipline begins to feel like desire. The things that once felt like sacrifice begin to feel like privilege, and in that shift is the birthplace of unstoppable achievement. Years ago, there was a young man who wanted to transform his life. He had been drifting for years, chasing distractions, losing himself in comfort. He read about success, he dreamed about achievement, but nothing ever stuck because his brain was addicted to easy rewards. Every night, he would stay up late on his phone. Every morning, he would wake up tired and behind. He thought he had a discipline problem, but in truth, he had a dopamine problem. His anchors were tied to pleasure without purpose. One day, he decided to run an experiment. Instead of trying to remove every bad habit at once, he chose one action to rewire, waking up early. He set his alarm for 5:30 a.m., and the first few days were miserable. But he remembered the principle of dopamine anchoring, so he attached a powerful reward to it. He bought a small speaker and prepared a playlist of songs that made his blood move. He opened the curtains to let in the morning light. He brewed a cup of his favorite coffee and took it to his desk while the world was still asleep. That first week, something happened. The mornings became his favorite time of day within a month. The craving was no longer for the phone or the late-night scrolling. The craving was for the peace and power of those early hours. His brain began to anticipate the reward before it happened. The act of rising early itself became the trigger for feeling alive. That was the dopamine anchor doing its work, and it started to bleed into other areas. Soon he anchored dopamine to exercise, to learning, to focused work. The man who once couldn't stick to anything became the man who couldn't imagine missing his daily victories. That is the secret. Those who wait for motivation will be defeated by those who build anchors. Because motivation is fleeting, but anchors are self-sustaining. Once your brain believes an action will bring you joy, it will fight to repeat it. That is why some people seem so consistent. It's not that they have superhuman willpower, it's that their pleasures have been rewired. Ask yourself this: what are your current dopamine anchors? Where is your brain getting its daily hits of satisfaction? If the answer is social media gossip, junk food, you have given your greatest motivational fuel to forces that work against you. But if you anchor dopamine to study, to creating, to building, to serving, you have created a system where success is the source of pleasure. Right now, there is someone out there who is no smarter, no stronger, no luckier than you, but they are moving faster because they have anchored their dopamine to progress. They feel excitement when they open a book. They feel satisfaction when they complete a workout. They feel alive when they push through a difficult task. And because they feel that excitement, their brain calls them back to it over and over. Imagine if every time you finished a chapter, you felt the same joy you feel when you check your phone. Imagine if every time you sat down to work on your goal, your brain gave you the same rush as a viral video. You would not need to force yourself, you would be drawn to it. That is what happens when you take control of dopamine anchoring. It is no longer a fight between discipline and distraction. It becomes a game you have already rigged in your favor. Start today. Choose one habit that will change your life. Attach to it a reward so powerful your brain will chase it relentlessly. The reward can be music, sunlight, coffee, gratitude, a moment of silence. It can be anything that makes you feel good. The point is to repeat it enough times that the habit and the pleasure become inseparable. And here's the truth: once that happens, you do not have to rely on self-control. The habit becomes part of who you are. When you master this, your environment will no longer dictate your mood. Your habits will. You will stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating it. Your life will shift from reaction to intention. You will begin to understand what the top 1% already know. Success is not about forcing yourself to do hard things. It is about making the hard things feel so good you cannot resist them. So make your list of habits. Make your list of rewards. Start pairing them today and watch your mind transform, because the one who controls their dopamine controls their destiny, and that can be you starting. Now the greatest power dopamine anchoring offers is ownership. Ownership of your mind, your motivation, your destiny. When you understand that your brain's pleasure system is not your enemy but your greatest ally, you stop fighting yourself. You stop waiting for luck or outside circumstances to push you forward. You become the architect of your own drive. This ownership means every morning you choose who you will be, not by chance, but by design. You craft your habits not out of obligation, but because they bring a rush of life to your spirit. You no longer feel victim to distraction because you have rewired your brain to crave progress over comfort. This is a revolution not fought in boardrooms or gyms, but inside your own mind. Dawning. This process is freedom. Freedom from the tyranny of willpower. Freedom from the endless cycle of motivation, highs and crashes. Freedom from self-doubt and hesitation, because when your mind is anchored in dopamine, the path forward feels inevitable. You walk it with confidence because your brain rewards you at every step. Remember, no one else can do this for you. No guru, no book, no mentor can plug this wiring into your brain. You must take this power and make it your own. The day you fully claim this ownership is the day your life begins to reflect your true potential. The greatest power dopamine anchoring offers is ownership. Ownership of your mind, your motivation, your destiny. When you understand that your brain's pleasure system is not your enemy but your greatest ally, you stop fighting yourself. You stop waiting for luck or outside circumstances to push you forward. You become the architect of your own drive. This ownership means every morning you choose who you will be, not by chance but by design. You craft your habits not out of obligation, but because they bring a rush of life to your spirit. You no longer feel victim to distraction because you have rewired your brain to crave progress over comfort. This is a revolution not fought in boardrooms or gyms, but inside your own mind. Owning this process is freedom. Freedom from the tyranny of willpower. Freedom from the endless cycle of motivation, highs and crashes. Freedom from and hesitation, because when your mind is anchored in dopamine, the path forward feels inevitable. You walk it with confidence because your brain rewards you at every step. Remember, no one else can do this for you. No guru, no book, no mentor can plug this wiring into your brain. You must take this power and make it your own. The day you fully claim this ownership is the day your life begins to reflect your true potential. Now as this message reaches, it's close. No, this is not the end, but a powerful beginning. The road ahead will not always be easy. There will be days when doubt creeps in, when distractions scream louder, when the comfort of old habits calls your name. But you hold a secret weapon, a key that unlocks your greatest strength. Your dopamine anchors are your allies in this fight. They pull you forward when your will falters. They ignite your spirit when fatigue tries to claim you. If this message has opened your eyes, if it has stirred even a single spark of possibility within, you then do not let it fade, let it ignite action. Share this with someone who needs to hear it today, because when you lift another, you rise as well. Like this so the message reaches more minds hungry for change, and subscribe so that each day your path forward is strengthened with new wisdom. Your future is calling, and together we will answer it. Keep this momentum alive. Keep feeding your mind with the truth that you were built to rise, that you were born to overcome, that your destiny is shaped by the choices you make today, not tomorrow, not someday, but right now. The power is in your hands. The time is now. Step forward with faith and relentless discipline and watch as your life transforms into the masterpiece it was always meant to be.